Okay, so today we are going to be restoring the faceplate on an Olympus CLE 165. You notice that there's some severe yellowing and oxidation that should actually be about this color of the button. And what this is caused by is the UV light from the fluorescent lights in the hospital sitting over time. So what we're going to need today is a razor blade knife. I actually use clear packing tape to mask off the control panel just because the clear packing tape isn't as porous as some of the masking tapes, and you don't want any of the fluid to leak in around the control panel and cause that to start peeling. Then we're going to use our Restorite MD, which was created just for this. This is a shelf-stable product we've had for about a year now. Paintbrush so that we can dab it on, and you would be recommended to use gloves. It does cause some minor chemical burns. OSHA disposal is water. If you do get it on your bare skin, just wash with soap and water and then apply hand lotion. So we're going to go ahead and mask off the front plate real quick. We're just going to overlap this so that we can do it quick. Okay. Now we just go ahead and take our razor blade knife and just put it right in that groove right around the faceplate. The curves can be a little tricky, so just take your time. Now, this doesn't just work on the Olympus equipment. It will work on any of the plastics in the hospital environment that are exposed to UV light, whether it's the Clorox cleaning lights that they're using, or if it's the fluorescent lights just sitting around the hospital as habit. So we'll peel that off. Go ahead and make sure that's sealed really nice around there. We're going to go ahead, the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and kind of tape this off. Just put a paper towel in there so no liquid or moisture gets in there. And then we're going to take another piece of tape and tape that off really well. We'll come back and get to the application process. Okay, so we have gone ahead and masked off the faceplate. And just for simple ease of use, we're going to go ahead and use the spray bottle nozzle just because it adds a little bit of air to the application process. You get it on there fairly thickly. As you can see, it's got the consistency of about wallpaper paste. Trouble with the nozzle. There we go. The slower you pull the trigger on this one, the more comes out actually thicker. You can see it kind of just glopped on there. So you just kind of want to take your time. We'll probably only use about 4 ounces for this particular procedure. And the value that this actually adds to the piece of equipment is remarkable. You know, if you're working on a 180 processor or even a 160, a lot of that equipment comes out and it's, you know, very, very discolored. And you can add $500 to $1,000 to the value just because it's not nasty and yellow. So now what we're going to do is we've got it on there pretty well. Let's get a little bit more on here. I mean, this is a 16-ounce bottle I'm working with here, and this is the 4th faceplate that I've done, and I've still got about half a bottle left. So now comes the paintbrush, and the only reason you're using the paintbrush is just to kind of dab it and evenly distribute it. And you see how we've got there on that edge, we've got that nice thick coating. And that's about as thick as you really want to get it. You want to get it to where you can see through it, but you also want to get it to where you don't see anything, where it doesn't have a wet texture to it. We can go ahead and take off what's over the masked off area, because that really doesn't need anything. We'll just go ahead and dab it back on here, come around the edges. Again, you know, anything that's down on the metal, we don't need to waste that compound. And we're just going to come dab it across the top. Try to get nice even. Now the great thing is, even where it says Olympus here, because of the compound, it doesn't do anything to affect any of the label. So here we are back approximately 12 hours later, just using a black light. We're going to just take some paper towels and wipe off the excess. Again, use gloves if you're going to be coming in contact with the compound. I'm a little used to it, so it's not the end of the world for me. I know. Just scrub my hands and add some lotion, and you'll be good to go in about 20 minutes. The reason we're not turning the light off yet is I kind of want to wait until we get this excess wiped off. So that we can see how much of a difference it makes. So we're going to come back in a couple minutes and see the final results. Okay, so we're back. We've taken all the excess material, or all the excess compound off. All we have to do now is remove our masking, which is that simple there. Go ahead and just clean off those electric connectors in case there's any excess that got on there. And then last but not least is to take off the masking from the control panel. It's a little slippery with this stuff still on there, so it takes a minute to get a grip. Not always the easiest task to accomplish. Okay. And now we have a much nicer processor. Notice that the lettering, we didn't get any smearing or smudging. We just wiped off the compound, so this is actually still damp, but there's nothing in there to cause the labeling or anything to wear off. So we're in pretty good shape, and we'll end up this video by adding some side-by-side comparisons of the before and after.